Stop for a moment and think. What do you usually do as soon as your salary hits your account? Most people already have everything programmed: pay rent, clear the credit card, buy groceries, and, if anything is left, maybe go out for dinner on the weekend. And so the month repeats itself, an endless cycle. But the rich, they act differently. For them, the moment money comes in is not the end of the line. It's the starting point. They follow real rituals. It's not about superstition, but about strategy. They don't go around paying everything on impulse. They don't spend automatically. They take a deep breath, analyze, and make intentional decisions. It's as if every cent has a mission. They look at money like an army. If you don't give clear orders, it disperses. But when you command it, it works for you. While the average person thinks, I got paid, now I can pay everything. The rich think, I got paid, now I can multiply. A D, and that's where the real difference begins. It's not about how much you earn, but how you behave in the first few minutes after receiving. Because it's in that moment that you define whether you will become rich or just survive until the next paycheck. As soon as the money comes in, what do the rich do? They don't wait to see what's left at the end of the month. They decide the destination of each part right from the beginning. And this decision is powerful. Instead of letting money get lost in everyday small expenses, they distribute it into strategic parts. One part goes to investments, another to education, and another to future opportunities. It's as if the salary were a harvest, and before eating, they set aside the best seeds to plant again. They understand that investing before spending is like ensuring that the next month will be even more fruitful. And this is where Robert Kiyosaki's famous quote comes in: pay yourself first. But attention, paying yourself here doesn't mean spending on leisure or momentary pleasures. It means investing in yourself, in your future. It's setting aside a portion of what you earn and putting it to work for you. This simple act creates a mindset shift. You go from survival mode to building mode, because now, every month you plant something, and those who plant consistently reap wealth. The average person receives a salary and immediately thinks about what they can buy. The rich person receives the same money and already thinks about what they can build. The difference is in the focus. One seeks immediate pleasure, the other seeks lasting freedom. The rich don't see salary as a prize. They see it as seeds that need to be planted in fertile soil. And that soil has a name: assets. What are assets? They're things that put money in your pocket, even when you're not working. It could be a rental property, stocks that pay dividends, an online course you created, a channel, a book, a digital business. And don't be fooled. Even a tool that saves you time or improves your productivity can be an asset. A machine that produces more, a software that automates tasks, a course that opens doors. The question the rich ask themselves every month is simple: how can I turn this salary into something that pays me back every month? They don't just look to work for money, they put money to work for them. And little by little, those assets become a silent machine generating passive income. While many only have bills, they build wealth. And the best part? You can start small. The important thing is to start thinking like the rich, even if you're not one yet. The rich don't rely on a single source of income. They know that relying solely on a salary is like walking a tightrope with no safety net. That's why they use part of the money they receive to create new sources of income. And note, they don't wait to be rich to start. They start small, but they start now. It could be by selling something online, offering a service, creating a digital product, renting something out, testing a new idea. The mindset is simple and powerful. Salary pays the bills, but side income builds freedom. Every month they set aside a portion of the money to feed this new source. Sometimes it's buying a domain for a website. Other times investing in ads, tools, or specific knowledge. Sometimes it's just time and energy. But the focus is clear: make money generate more money outside the main job. This habit seems small at first. Maybe it only generates a few bucks initially, but over time it becomes a business. Then a solid income, until the point where this side income becomes bigger than the salary. And then the game changes. Because those with multiple income streams don't live in fear of layoffs, crises, or uncertainty. They live with freedom of choice. This is one of the biggest differences between those who are always rushing and those who are always building. The rich have understood that time is the real scarcest asset. You can lose money and earn it again, but time, once spent, doesn't come back. That's why, whenever possible, they use money to gain more time. How? Delegating what's not essential, automating repetitive tasks, hiring help for things that consume energy but don't generate direct growth. This isn't luxury, it's strategy. While many spend hours on things that could be solved in minutes with a system, an app, or a hired person, the rich prefer to invest that time thinking, planning, studying, creating, or resting. Yes, even rest is part of the equation. Because a rested brain has better ideas, makes smarter decisions, and builds with more clarity. Buying time is making room on your schedule for what really matters. It's getting out of survival mode and into creation mode. It's stopping the endless firefighting and starting to build bridges. In the end, the rich have understood something that few realize. You don't need to do everything. You just need to do what brings you closer to the life you want. This idea may seem selfish at first glance, but it's actually the opposite. The principle is clear. Before paying bills, credit card, rent, or any other commitment, the rich set aside part of the money for themselves to invest in their future. This is where many go wrong. Most people receive their salary and go paying everyone and everything, the bank, the government, the supermarket, the kids' school, and in the end, there's almost nothing, or literally nothing, left to invest in themselves. The rich reverse this logic. They say, I am my priority, my future comes first. It doesn't mean ignoring the bills. It means creating a sense of urgency to reorganize life in a way that works in the long term. It's an intelligent way to force limits and develop financial creativity. You learn to live on what's left instead of waiting for leftovers to invest. This simple habit generates two powerful effects. Discipline. You build the habit of always investing, regardless of the circumstances. Creative pressure. With less free money, you become more selective, more strategic, and more productive. It's as if you're saying, I work too hard to give everything away to others and not build anything for myself. And over time, that small portion set aside starts growing and becomes wealth, freedom, and peace. The rich know something the average person often forgets. Money can run out, but the knowledge you acquire, that no one can take from you. That's why they don't see money just as something to consume. They see it as a tool to evolve. Every month, part of the rich's income is reinvested, but not in cars, clothes, or status. It's reinvested in themselves: courses, books, mentorships, workshops, seminars, new tools, a new language, a new skill, a certification, a tested idea. Why? Because they know the economy changes, technologies change, the market changes, and only those who keep learning survive. While many stop studying when they leave school or college, the rich keep learning forever. And this isn't vanity, it's strategy. The more you learn, the more opportunities you see that others miss. The faster you react to change, the more security you feel, because you know that if you lose everything, your knowledge can rebuild it all again. Robert Kiyosaki sums it up in a simple but powerful phrase: the most valuable asset you have is your mind. That's why the rich are always looking for ways to feed the brain. They don't wait for chaos to chase knowledge. They prepare in advance. While some buy comfort, they buy readiness. While some seek distraction, they seek direction. While some avoid learning because it seems expensive, the rich know that what's really expensive is not learning. And that's how they build something far beyond money: consistency, clarity, and adaptability. A lot of people repeat the same phrase every month: with what I earn, I can't get rich. And by believing that, they give up before even trying. But the rich think differently. They understand that it's not the amount of the salary that defines your financial journey. It's what you do with that amount, month after month. Have you seen people who earn well and live in debt? And people who earn little and still manage to invest, save, grow? That's right. The difference is in the behavior. Even with a small salary, you can plant seeds every month. It could be $10, $20, $50. The amount matters less than the habit. Because those who learn to invest little are preparing to invest a lot. You don't need a raise. You need a plan. You don't need luck. You need focus. The truth is that the salary was made to sustain you today, but the right financial habits are what will sustain you in the future. So don't say, "My salary isn't enough anymore." Start saying, "What can I do with what I have?" Because that's how the game starts to turn. Most people use their salary as an anchor. They tie themselves to it, live limited by it, revolve around it. When the money comes in, everything revolves around paying bills and surviving until the next deposit. And so time goes by without growth. But the rich do the opposite. They use their salary as a lever. Even if small, it's with that they take the first steps. They understand that the salary is just the beginning, not the final destination. What does that mean in practice? It means the salary should be the base for something bigger. It can fund a course that opens doors. It can be the initial capital for a side project. It can buy equipment, a tool, a book, a mentorship. It can pay for time, so you can focus on what really builds. The secret is to stop seeing the salary as all you have and start seeing it as what will get you to what you want to have. It's like a staircase. No one jumps from the ground to the top. You climb one step at a time. And the first step for many people is the salary itself. Therefore, don't waste it. Use it strategically. Turn today's money into tomorrow's freedom. There's a common mistake that stops a lot of people from starting, thinking it's only worth investing when you have a lot of money. It's the famous thought, when I earn more, then I'll start investing. But the truth is exactly the opposite. Those who don't know how to invest 50 won't know how to invest 5,000 either. Because investing isn't about the amount, it's about the mindset. It's in the habit of investing small amounts that you learn. To have discipline, to choose good assets, to deal with ups and downs, to control anxiety, and most importantly, to respect time. Do you know what happens when you wait to have a lot to start? You never start. You'll always think it's still too little. You'll always think it's not the right time yet. The rich know this. That's why many of them started with symbolic values, very small, but consistent. And that consistency was what built their freedom. Remember, those who don't value $1 will never multiply 1 million. Start with what you have, invest what you can, but make it a sacred habit. There are people earning a lot and getting poorer every day. And there are people earning little, but building wealth month after month. How is that possible? Because the secret isn't in the income, it's in what you do with what comes in. The rich have understood that the true construction of wealth happens in 2 steps. Retain part of what you earn instead of spending everything. Reinvest that part intelligently, month after month. They don't live to pay bills. They live to create assets. They don't spend everything on comfort now. They prefer to plant seeds to reap freedom tomorrow, and that retention requires choices. Maybe it's not the new phone right now. Maybe it's not the latest car. Maybe it's not the most expensive restaurant on Saturday. But do you know what it is? It's the investment that can bring you a return in 3, 5, 10 years, a return that pays for your peace, your autonomy, your life. Retaining and reinvesting isn't sacrifice, it's building. It's you saying, I don't live only for the present, I'm building a future. And those who do that long enough reap a life that most only dream of. Most people spend their whole lives trading time for money. They wake up early, work all day, receive their paycheck, pay the bills, and repeat everything the next month. And then comes the frustration. I work so much, and I'm still in the same place. It's because there's a limit to how much you can work, but there's no limit to how much your money can work for you. The rich understood that early on. They don't just want to earn more. They want money to generate more money. How buying assets that generate income without depending on direct effort, creating scalable businesses, investing in funds, stocks, real estate, intellectual property, automating processes that generate consistent returns. They build invisible machines that work while they sleep, rest, or travel. And it all starts small, with a choice, an investment, a step. The turning point happens when you stop thinking, the more I work, the more I earn, and start thinking, the more my money works, the more freedom I gain. This is the difference between living in a rush and living by building. How many times have you looked at someone successful and thought, oh, they just got lucky? But what many people call luck is just the consequence of small right decisions made every single day. The truth is, you don't need to win the lottery. You don't need an inheritance or a stroke of luck. You need to decide that you're going to change. Decide that you won't spend everything you earn anymore. Decide that you're going to study money, even if no one teaches you. Decide that you're going to invest, even if you start with a little. Decide that you're going to build, even if no one believes in you. Decide that you're going to take your freedom seriously. That decision changes everything, because when you change your mindset, your money changes direction. You get out of autopilot. You start acting with intention. And even if the results don't show up in the first month, you are planting. And those who plant with faith reap with strength. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. It never comes. Use what you have, where you are, with what you know now. It's not about having a lot. It's about doing a lot with what you have. And believe me, this is within your reach. You just need to decide. Many people spend their whole lives complaining, oh, America doesn't help. The government doesn't cooperate. With this salary, no one gets ahead. Everything's expensive, there's no way out. But stop and think, will the world change for you to change? Or is it you who needs to wake up and see what you can do with what you have now? The rich didn't wait for everything to improve to get started. They started even when everything seemed hard. They weren't born ready. They shaped themselves. They fell, got back up, learned, tried again. And above all, they decided to wake up to reality. The reality that they won't teach you this in school. No one is going to give you a ready-made manual. If you don't take control of your financial life, the system will do it for you and keep you trapped. But when you wake up, nothing can hold you back. You start seeing money differently. You start seeing opportunities where you used to see only problems. You start asking better questions, and that leads you to better answers. And better answers lead you to decisions that change everything. So stop waiting for the ideal scenario. The ideal scenario is the one you build, one step at a time. Wake up, because the world won't wait. But your freedom, it's waiting for you to rise and go after it. Now that you've discovered the secrets the rich put into practice as soon as money hits their account, and you've realized that even with little it's possible to start building wealth, comes the most important part of all. What are you going to do with what you learned today? Because knowledge without action is just forgotten information. But when you decide to apply it, little by little, that knowledge becomes transformation. You don't need to be a millionaire to start. You just need to start so that one day you can be. Remember, every rich person was once just a regular person who got THA. If this video helped you see money with different eyes, if it planted a seed inside you, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, because this is just the beginning of your turning point. Here, you don't just learn about money, you learn to change your mindset. And those who change their minds, change their lives. Now tell me, which of these actions will you apply first in your life? Write it in the comments, I'll read them all. See you in the next video.